think so. I mean, basically, risk management is about making appropriate decisions in the face of uncertainty.
Sure.
And we make decisions in every area of life.
Sure.
And it's interesting if you think about the future of risk management. Some people say that risk management might disappear as a discipline altogether because it's just about making good decisions when we don't have all of the information. And others say that risk management will never disappear because we'll always have uncertainty, poor and taxes and uncertainty and death. So we always will have to have some way of dealing with it. And I'm not sure. Sometimes I think it will become so natural to do risk management that we don't need a separate discipline. Other times I think, well, maybe we should just have that kind of reminder that it's important with a separate discipline that exists on its own.
Well, that's great. And if you would take us a bit further into your view of the future of risk management, as well as at large, the future of project, program, and portfolio management, if you would.
Well, that's a very big subject. And who knows? The whole point is that everything about the future is uncertain.
That's
right. I'm not going to make cast iron predictions and we come back in a year and you say, you were wrong. But I do have a view. I think, let me say three things about risk management that I think should develop, and I really hope will develop, and certainly in our business, in the Risk Doctor Partnership, we're working towards making these things applicable and usable. The first is integration.
Sure.
The main problem with risk management has been that it's standalone, it's seen as a separate thing we do on the side. We're running the project here, we're running the business here, and we're doing risk management over in the silo here. And occasionally we throw a risk report or a risk register over the fence. Here, look at this, and they say, okay, we'll look at that. But it's not integrated. So I think we need to see integration of risk management into the project, integration into the program and portfolio, integration into the business and strategic thinking, so that we have a much closer interface between the risk information that comes out of the risk process and the other project processes. So when we're planning, when we're estimating, when we're doing resource management, when we're doing change control, when we're doing stakeholder engagement, all of those things need to take account of uncertainties that matter, risks that could affect them. So risk management needs to be fully integrated. And when we're making strategic decisions about our positioning as an organization, about our product mix, about our market level, about our financial decision making, all of those things need to take account of strategic risks. So it needs to be integrated. The second thing, which is very closely linked to that, is risk and decision making. The point of understanding the risks is to help you do things differently. And I always say that risk management, the output of risk management has two purposes: attention and action. The idea of the risk process is to draw your attention to things that you didn't currently know. You should know this, you don't know it, the risk process will reveal it to you. So it's attention. This is something you need to know that you don't know. And action, when you know that, you should be doing something that you're not currently doing. So now I know what the risks are. Oh, I'm so glad I know that. Now I shall do this. So if it doesn't draw attention and it doesn't result in action, it's a waste of time. So where do we pay attention and take action? Most of the time it's in the way we make decisions. So I would like to see project decisions, portfolio decisions, strategic decisions, all made in the light of risk. And that needs that integration to support decision making at different levels. So my first change would be better integration of risk management with the rest. Second is the active use of risk information to make decisions through the attention and action sort of channel. And the third thing is a much better attention to the people aspects, the soft aspects of risk management. To think about biases, to think about culture, as we've been talking, to think about personal preferences, personal risk appetites, and for those things to be played into the process. At the moment, we're very process-based in risk management and in projects, and we need to think much more about the influence of individuals and groups on the way that risk is perceived and understood and responded to. And again, some of us in that kind of thought leadership position are thinking about this and putting it into practice, but it needs to become mainstream. Risk is managed by people, not by processes and not by machines or computers. And so we have to take account of the people aspects. I'd like to see all of those three things in the next five years. Integration, decision-making, and people, the really important things.
Well, those are all very, very valuable things. And thank you for helping us look into the future. Of course, we'll attempt to paraphrase Danish Nobel Prize laureate Niels Bohr that forecasting is difficult, especially in the
about
future.
the future. Exactly.
And
yes.
it was attributed to him and others, but
Yes.
thank you for taking us there, because that really is a very important thing to keep our sights on the picture down the road.
Well, I see risk management as a forward-looking radar. You know,
Yes.
it scans the future.
Yes.
And it says, these are bad things in my project, I must steer away. These are good things I must steer towards. And we can do that scanning for risk management itself and say, let's look out into the future and see what's coming towards risk management and how can we embrace those things and build them in to the way that we practice.
Well, that's great. And thank you very much, Dr. Hillson, for giving us your insights into current and future status of risk management, its progress. It's been a great pleasure to have you at Drexel.
Well, I've enjoyed it very much, Frank. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Okay.